First of all, let me rise in strong support of H.R. 627, the Credit Card Holder Bill of Rights Act of 2009. And let me once again thank the gentlelady from New York, Congressman Maloney, for her tireless effort and work on defending consumers. I can't think of a better legislative product that I could have as chairman of the subcommittee on financial institutions to bring before this House of Representatives than the bill that the gentlelady has worked so tirelessly on over many, many years. I'm delighted that I got this opportunity, and it's indeed a great privilege. Look, we have more than 640 million credit cards in circulation that account for an estimated $1.5 trillion of consumer spending. $1.5 trillion of consumer spending. Clearly, the U.S. economy has gone plastic. I mean, you've been around. Nobody takes out a checking account anymore. Nobody sticks their hand in their pocket and brings out cash. We've become a credit card economy and society. But America's love affair with credit cards comes with a hefty price. The average credit card debt among American households has more than doubled during the last 10 years. Today, the average family owes roughly $8,000, Mr. Chairman, on credit cards. The debt has helped generate record profits for the credit card industry. Unfortunately, a growing share of the industry's revenues don't come because you took $200 at 10%, but come because the industry's revenues come from deceptive practices such as universal default terms spelled out in very fine print. As a matter of fact, we now know that even the Federal Reserve Board, when they evaluated this situation, said, listen, I want the American people to understand that it isn't they're not smart, it isn't they can't read, it isn't that somehow they didn't get schooled well. Look, these things are designed to be deceptive. They're designed to trick you. And so you get tricked, you get fooled. That's what we're here for, to make sure it no longer happens. And that's independently been confirmed. That's the way they do it. That's the magic of what they do. And kind of the recipe here is to make sure there's a level playing field, and that's what this thing does. The terms and conditions can be changed. Now, not only is there fine print, but then they can change it with 15 days notice at any time for any reason. According to a recent Pew study, 100% of 400 types of credit cards that they reviewed contained in its terms at least one practice that has been found not by the Democrats, not by the Republicans, not by the Obama administration, but by the Federal Reserve to be unfair and deceptive. And 93% of the cards studied allowed for any time, any reason, repricing, allowing an insurer to hike the APR on a consumer's credit card even if they never missed a payment. I want everybody to understand, we're not talking about people who are late with their credit card bills. Not paying late. They're not somehow scofflaws. These are people who every month pay it on time, get it into the credit card company, and they're still increasing their interest rate. In 2008, the House passed the Credit Card Holders Bill of Rights by a vote of 312 to 112, but it was unfortunately not signed into law. This year, once again, under the leadership of Representative Carolyn Maloney, we have taken up H.R. 627, which appropriately carries the name of its predecessor, and has moved swiftly to the fore for final passage. We must pass this legislation once again. Americans are suffering from rising unemployment rates, dramatically falling household wealth, and declining real wages. I want to say that again. Americans are suffering from rising unemployment rates, dramatically falling household wealth, and declining real wages, all of which makes it harder for them to pay off their credit card debt. Makes it harder, more difficult. If there was ever a time for the Congress of the United States to step up and defend consumers, it's now. We are in an economic crisis and meltdown. Unemployment. Millions of people are unemployed, and probably more hundreds of thousands will continue to be unemployed. Look, all we're saying is we did a lot for the banks. Everybody knows that. When they were in tough shape, we did a lot for them. can't we do a little bit for the consumer, for the person who has to tirelessly work at these jobs, and their wages are going down, and their health care benefits are going down, and everything around them seems to be just causing more and more anguish and suffering? That's what I hear from American people, that it's time for the Congress. I yield myself an additional minute, Mr. Chairman. So we got to pass this. And let me just end with this. Look, I understand that we don't want to restrict credit. We want people to have it. But golly, if I go take a loan at 10%, and then all of a sudden they charge me 20% on the same money I took at 10%, that's wrong. That's just wrong. Nobody should be able to change the terms. This is America, right? You shake hands, you make an agreement, you say this is how much you're going to pay on that $100. But we know the credit card companies aren't doing that. As a matter of fact, what they do is they say, you know, Luis, that $1,000 you took at 10%, I'm not only going to charge you 20% on it, but you know what? I'm going to go back 2-3 months retroactively and charge you the 20% on that money. That's wrong. And it's wrong when you pick up a telephone and you say, listen, I just got my bill, but it's 3 days before it's due. Can I pay you over the phone? And they tell you, for 15, 20 bucks. Now, and with this, how many people of the America, 30 additional seconds, I yield myself. How many people in America haven't picked up the phone to complain to a credit card company, and if you get a little testy with them, which I have, because they anger me, and I say, could you please explain this? Click. Well, you know what we're doing today? We're going click right back to the credit card companies, except this time we're hanging up the phone on abusive practices here in America against the American consumer.